Hi everyone, so today I'm gonna show you how to make this kind of layout for a login page. So this is done using Flutter. So let's get started. First of all, using Android Studio, I'm gonna start a new Flutter project. So and a Flutter application, and click next. Give your application some name. I'll give this login something. Then just click finish, and Android Studio will create a new Flutter project for you. So now our Flutter application is open, and we have a starting Flutter project. So I'm not going to use this my app class, so I'll be deleting all that. And so as you can see, there's an error here, as well as some error is there in this widget test, though I'm not using the my app, so I'm completely deleting this folder off. So you can keep it there if you want, but I'm just deleting for creating my own app. So here we are going to use a material app. So this material app, it acts as a stand for our painting, which is our app. So this has some properties like home, where we define which function to use. So this is a widget structure, like a building block. So before this, I have to create another folder, another file, dot file, where I'll be defining the UI. So I'll just give it login some name. So here I am going to import the material dot, so that I can use stateless, stateful, and widget, all those stuff. You can just type the shortcut for stateful widget, and it creates the the backbone. Then you can just name it anything you want. I'll just give it auth page. Click tab to remove the red rectangle. So that's gone. Now insert main dot, we will give that this name, so that it calls that. So when we type A itself, you can see it's coming auth, and it's auto importing the the file. Then we got to do one more thing, that is there's something called a debug show check mode banner, which comes if I state it to true. Its default value is true. You will see what happens when I run it. Then I'll show you how you can remove it. So here I'm just gonna give a scaffold instead of a container. So the scaffold acts as a canvas to our painting, which we do as a map. So let's start our app in an emulator. Our emulator is getting started. So our emulator has started. Now we'll just run the app. So click run. It's taking a long while, guys. Okay, now our app is built. So as you can see, it started. So you can see here there's this kind of banner like thing saying debug. So that's what I told you about this debug show check. It's true by default, so we can set it to false, and then you can see that it goes. So there's this hot reload and hot restart. So you can check your real-time changes with using these. You can use, I'll be using shortcut keys most of the time. So when I just hot restarted, that you can see the whole thing has gone because I've set this to false. So now you can build your app. If you want that thing, you can just leave it as such, but I don't like that, so I'm just taking it off the application. So let's start. So inside the scaffold we are gonna build our application, that is the UI. So first of all, I'll be using the scaffold has two properties mainly, an app bar and a body. So for our purpose, I'll be using just the body, and I'm not going to use any app bar. So I'm just going to write body, and when I just start writing, you can see everything like suggestions come on, and you can just select whichever you want. So I'm just selecting body, and I'm going to give a container as a body. See, I just typed conta and it came. So all these are widgets actually. This scaffold is a widget, container is a widget, and everything under this is going to be a widget with some properties defined. So this auth page also, we are defining this as a widget. It's a stateful widget. So here the home property of material app receives a widget. So we give auth page as the widget, and we're gonna build our app. So I'm gonna define a height and width for this. So height. So I'm using media query so that it takes the screen height and screen width, and I can make it responsive by using this. So this line is basically getting the screen height of whichever device. If it's a laptop, it will take the screen height of the laptop, or if it's if it's a tablet, it takes the screen height of the tablet, and etc. So similarly for width, I'm giving the same thing, but instead of height, I'll be giving width. So now we have a container, and next what I'm going to do is give a decoration. That is, we need to give a background image. See, our background image is there, so I have to give a background image. So in order to do that, I'll be using a decoration property. So this decoration property accepts a box decoration widget. if you have any doubt regarding what widget to give or what to give, you can just click on that and just press Ctrl and Q, and it just gives a description of what to use and how to use and what is it for and all those things. See, and if I give if I don't know what is inside, what to give inside a box decoration, you can just place the cursor somewhere in that word and just click Ctrl Q, and it will show you what all can be given and what all type of input all each and every property takes, and it just generally gives a brief description about the whole thing. So here I'm going to use an image and use a decoration image. Inside the decoration image, you have to give an image property which takes an image provider as the widget. So there are three types of image providers. One is asset image, another is network image, here network image, then another is file image. Okay, so for our purpose I'll be using a network image. You can use an asset image as well by downloading the image you want. So I'll be using an image from Unsplash site. So open your web browser and just type in Unsplash. So it just comes. So you can get free images which can be used for commercial uses. I'm just gonna give mountain image because the layout has a mountain image. So if you're using a network image, you have to first of all let me choose one image. Okay, this is my image. So if you're using a network image, you will have to open the image in a new tab to get the image link. So that's what I'm gonna do. Open image in new tab. So we'll get the image in a new tab, and this is the link for that image. So if I copy this link and paste it in, oh sorry, I didn't write network image, network image. Okay, now if I just copy paste it as a string, the link, oh sorry, some mistake in, I accidentally did reload, I guess. Okay, so the image I given, then I'll just give a fit property so that it will fit correctly. A box fit dot cover. So what it does is it brings the image as small as possible while still covering the entire target. So here it will cover the whole, the screen. So let's see. I'm just gonna give hot reload, and oh, it didn't come. I guess my network is slow. Let's try it. Restart. Yeah. So as you can see, we have our image, same image. So this is one way. If you want to give it as an asset image, you can download the image, and then you'll have to create a new file, a new directory, give it some name, images, preferably images. Then I'm not going to create anything, so I'm just leaving it as such. Then you'll have an images, then you have to you have to put the downloaded image into that images file directory, and then you have to update your pubspec YAML. This is a configuration file, so whatever you do here, you have to update it here. So in this you can see assets or image, so you just have to select the whole thing and just press Ctrl and / and you will get. So make sure the spacing is correct, or else this will throw an error. I guess this is okay. So you will have to, if you're too lazy to if you have too many images and you're too lazy to type down all the image name as such, you can just remove this and just hit pub-get. If you want the image like single image and you just want to name the one image, you can just name it like that and leave it as such and just click pub-get. So after pub-get, your image will be configured inside the project. Then you can do from asset image itself. So I'm just gonna comment it back because I'm not gonna use it. So back to my login. So here I have my image. Because I've changed my edited my pub-get, like I've clicked and showed you a demo, so it's showing get dependencies because it has been edited. So just click it, it will go. It didn't go because I didn't change anything. So it's like, what happened, what is that change? It didn't do anything. So then we coming back to our layout. So we have a box decoration of image, then we'll give a child, before the container bracket we'll give a child, and that's also gonna be a container. So inside this container we are going to give some, the gradient effect and all with this image. You see there's some gradient effect here, so I'll be giving the gradient effect in this child container. So inside the container we'll give a decoration, then a box decoration, inside which we'll be giving gradients. So here I'm going to use linear gradient. You can use several gradients. There are, I think, radial gradient and all, so you can use whichever you want. I'm using linear gradient for our purpose. So it has some properties like colors. So it takes a list of colors to create a gradient, so I have to give a list of colors. So I'll be giving a few colors. So I'll give a red shade of, let's say, 700, and with some opacity of 0.8. I don't know, it's up to you. You can play around with this shade and opacity so it kind of matches with your your own. Oh, I shouldn't use this semicolon, it's the end of a code. It's color, it's a list, so I have to use comma. Okay, so I think 700 is too dark. You can see the color here. I feel it's a bit too dark, so I'll just give it to 500. Okay, that looks better. Next I'll give another color of say blue gray. So I just type blue, so it become blue accent 3 colors. So I'll use blue gray with that to a shade, let's say shade 700. Should shade 700 only. it's down 900. Let it be 900, and we're gonna give an opacity of 0.8. You can actually play around with this value, so it's according to your liking. Now we'll just see how it looks with all these. So I'm just going to give commas and see, you can see that it starts from here to and ends at here. So I don't want that. I just want it to come like top to bottom, like in this. See, top to bottom, not from left to right. So I'll have to specify the alignment direction. So I'll be giving a begin alignment. I'll give alignment dot, I just want top center, then end at bottom, same thing. Oh yes, that's it. Now if I give hot reload, it comes somewhat like that. Actual thing, yeah, it looks somewhat like that. So next what we're gonna do is gonna add all these things, the T for and the email, login, everything. So for that I'll be using I'll use some more colors, I guess. Right. Let's just experiment with this. I'm using white, the opacity 0.2 or something. Come on. Just to give. Now it looks more, similar. Then we'll give a blend mode. No, we don't want to give a blend mode. It's already blended. You can actually give a blend mode if you want. I'm not using because I've used opacity factor. So now we have another child for this container. Child within a child. So the next child, it would be a column. So I'm just to make the keyboard coming up not affecting what is inside the column, I'll be wrapping the column inside a single child scroll view. So show context action, you can wrap with a widget. It kind of gives you options. You can just type in the cap letters and it just shows up. See, single child scroll view. Just enter and you have that. So next we have column. So column has a multiple children, so it takes in a list of children actually. So see, children and first child. So I'm not using any main alignment or anything, so I'll be in order to bring the this T to the almost this much space, I'll have to use a sized box or something like that. So do that, a sized box with some height. Say we'll use media code itself, so it's easier to make it responsive. We'll just say let's make it 10% of a height. Oh, and remember here we'll be using percentage value, so 10% means it's 0.1. it's multiplied by a factor of 0.1. Then we have our letter T, so it's a text with the letter T. So you can give anything if you want. I'm just giving T for tech P's, and so you can give anything of your choice. You can give some A or L, it's up to you. So we'll give some decoration for this. So styling the text, we give text style, and inside text style we can give properties like color. So I want the color to be white. I have white. Then what all I have to do? Okay, so our font size is there. So before we give the font size, I just want to see how it looks. So I'll just run the program, restart it. So there's a T which is practically a bit small. So let's give the font size. I'll give a media query dot of I'm putting it here so that you can see it. Stop it. So let's say how much should I give? Okay, I'll give 0.3, that is 30% of width. 3. Then let's see how it looks. Now it's bigger. So next let's give it font weight, make it bold. Then let's give a shadow for this. So it's shadows, so it's a list of shadows. So we give a box shadow with color. What color should I give? Let's see, what color did I give here? Okay, so it's kind of like orange. So a color orange, or like deep orange, I guess. Yeah, that's. And let's say an offset. Let's say offset. So I'll give an offset of 5 and 10. Then a blur radius. Let's give a blur radius of 3. And let's see how it looks. Control S. See that? Let's compare it. Yeah, somewhat looks similar. I think it's more spread out. So let's make it 10. Just do this. Now it's better. So now we have to give the text fields, the text form fields, where we can enter the email and password and all. So let's give that. Before that I have to give a sized box. With the height, again media query. Let's just say a factor of how much should we give? 0.2. I forgot that. multiplication sign asterisk 0.2, and then now comes our text fields. So I'm gonna give a text form field. So I just gave the capital letters TFF and it shows me the text form field as the first suggestion. Just click enter and then let's see how it looks. There you can see, if you look closely, you can see a black line there. That's our text form field. So I don't want it to cover the entire area, so I'm just gonna wrap it inside a container with a specific width. Container width, I'm gonna give a width of, let's say, 90% of width. That should be better, I guess. Let's see how it looks. Now you can see it's kind of shorter than what we had before. I'll give some, I don't want it to be like this, so I'll just make it a bit more attractive. So I'll give a decoration for this. Here it takes an input decoration as the widget, and inside that let's give what fill as true. Fill is true. Then a fill color. Fill is true, we need a fill color. So what color should we give? Kind of like blue gray, I guess. Blue gray with some opacity blue. Let's give an opacity of how much? I'll just give a 0.8 or something. So let's see how it looks. Now it's better, but you still can see that tiny small line under, so I just want to get rid of that. So I'll just remove the border, outline border, and I'll give border side as none, so it will remove the border. See, now that small line was gone and it became more filled. I'll give a radius also, border radius. Takes a border radius as emitter. The radius dot all, and I'll give a radius of how much? Radius circular 20. Let's see how it looks. Let's see. It has now, that sharp edge has gone and it became a curved, a little more good looking text field. So that's that. Then we'll give a hint text. Yes, arrange it again. Okay, next the hint text. We'll give it as email. Oh, sorry. Email. And hint style as, I forgot the comma. We'll show an error. Style. We'll give a white color. so it will be more, you know, showing off the hint text in this background. See what I mean? Now let's give an icon. So let's give an icon next. Okay, icon. We'll give a mail icon. So icon widget with an icons dot. We'll get a lot of icons here, so I'm just gonna go with mail. What should I give? I guess this is good. Color property of the icon. Color is white again. And let's see how it looks. That looks much more better. Now I have to give. Now the problem is, if I just type something, it will be in black, which is the default color. So I don't want it to be black. So I'm gonna give it a white color. So what I'm gonna do is, inside text form field, I'll give style. This basically styles up the input text, that is what we give. So that is what we are mentioning with style property of text form field. So here's a text style, and we give a color of white. So white, control says, and then if we type, we'll see the letters are white. Okay, I don't want it to be written at the first time. So now we have our text form field. Now what I'm gonna do is copy this whole thing and paste it with the slight modifications. Okay, so I'm just gonna copy both of these, control C. I'm gonna paste it right under it. V. So before that, I'll give a size box of height, let's say 0.1. See how it looks. And here I'll give email. Instead of email, I'll give password, because that's password field. And in the icons, I'll give a lock icon. There are a lot of locks here. You can choose whichever you want. Choosing this one. Let's see how it looks. So there's a lot of space in between. I don't want that much, so I'm just gonna adjust, play around with the sized box in between. I gave 3% and it came up. So we have our text field, the same, but you have seen this problem. Do you see this problem? So we can't let everyone see our password as we type it, so we need to make it more like a password, like character or input. So what I'm gonna do is, inside text form field for password, I'm gonna make a property called obscure text to true. It is false by default, so that whatever you type, it will appear as password. So now let's see, now it looks more like a password. That's what I mean. Okay, we are almost complete. Now to do with our login button. Yeah, login button, that's all. Okay, so let's just arrange the whole code a bit. Let's see. a sized box again. But instead of point, okay, I'll give 0.1, 10%. Then I'll give a container. With width as 60% of the screen width. Yeah, I'll give 60. Then we'll give a decoration, box decoration. So what all are we supposed to give inside box decoration? Yeah, we need to give a color, need to give radius, shadow, all those stuff. So let's do it. So first of all, let's define the color. I'll give purple color with a shade of 300. Let's see how it looks. Didn't come. Oh yeah, I forgot to give the height or padding. So here I'm gonna give padding instead of height. So edge it's just edge insets, not edge insets geometry. Or I'll give media query itself here. Media query returns a double value actually, the height and width properties. So I'm just gonna give on basis of width. I'll give a small padding of 1%. Now you can see you can see that purple button coming into place. Now let's do the remaining stuff. We'll give a border radius of all, radius dot circular. Radius dot all, it's not radius dot circular. Oh yeah, it's radius dot circular. I'm sorry, I got confused a bit. At also I do 20. You can give any radius of your choice, or if you don't want any border radius, you can leave it as such as well. It's tiny, so you won't be able to see. I'll add a child to the container so that you can see it. The child, just a text, and I'll give it as login. See that? I think 0.1 is too small. Bit more padding, maybe 2%. See how it looks then. Much better. I don't want this to be on the edge, so I'm gonna wrap it with the center widget so it's not on the edge. Okay, we'll do the design of login later. Let's finish up with our container decoration. So after border radius, I'm gonna give a shadow. It's a list of box shadows. So let's give box shadow color black. I'll give with an opacity black, 87% opaque black. Then I'll give an offset. We'll give an offset of how much, say 5, no, 3, 3. See how it looks. And a blur radius of 3 too. Everything is in 3. Okay, looks better, I guess. Now let's just make the login a bit more attractive. Give it a style, text style. Give a white color. And I'll give a font size with the media query itself. I'll give a 5% of the width. Let's see how it looks. There you go. And voila, your screen is exactly like you planned, or maybe a bit color is off, I guess. You can just adjust the shades and all to bring it into this color. So this is all for today's tutorial. You can even add a gesture detector so that this login would be acting as a a button. So I'm just going to add that too. So I'll just place an on tab function, an empty function. Anyone with the code can add whatever they want, if they want to go to another screen or to do any function, etc. And voila, you have your layout. Thank you. One more thing, you can get the links to the source code as well as the website to Unsplash on the description given below. And if you like our video, do subscribe for such content. Thank you.